This is the February 14th, Valentine's Day edition, Tuesday edition here of the Carolina Weather Video. A lot to talk about here. One storm system moving through today, another one Thursday. Then, of course, a lot of chatter about our weekend system that's bringing some interesting possibilities to the weekend forecast. And I'll spend a lot of time on that aspect of the forecast here coming up in just a moment. Let's get through the current system first. That's the radar imagery this morning, and at least in much of the Carolinas, this is one of those mornings where the radar looks a lot more impressive than what's occurring in reality. A lot of what you see is virga, that is precip that is evaporating before making it to the ground. But with that said, there's a window of opportunity this morning for a couple of novelty snowflakes or sleet pellets in a couple of spots in the region. Nothing terribly significant once you get into the Piedmont and the foothill zones, really. And then just the chance of some lingering light rain a little bit later on today. There remains a winter weather advisory there from the mountains of northeast Georgia on up into the western mountains of North Carolina. There could be some minor accumulations there. Temperatures across the region. The clouds have held temperatures up this morning. A lot of us in the upper 30s to low 40s across the Piedmont zones this morning. And the dew point temperature is still in the teens in many spots. So that's a very dry air that's just a dry air mass rather that's just been chewing up a lot of the precipitation with this current storm system. Aloft, there it goes, just kind of a minor little piece of energy rippling through. Now, here's the next system. This is Thursday system. There's our weekend system. Let's go forward in time. This is the European model. There goes Thursday system off to our north and west. That'll bring us a round of rain, maybe a couple of embedded thunderstorms across the region. Better thunderstorm chances back down toward the deep south and the lower Mississippi Valley. And then we get into the weekend. This is, the European model. This is Saturday morning, well-defined piece of energy. And you'll see some of this energy in the northern branch kind of interact with this as it moves eastward and swings into our part of the country on Sunday. Now, that's just one model representation. I'll show you all the models on this, or at least most of the models here, in just one moment. So hang in with me. A lot of clouds today, that light precipitation I mentioned. Tomorrow, though, is going to be a great day. Sunshine, milder temperatures. I think a lot of us are able to get up to around 60 degrees or so in the Piedmont and the upstate. It'll be a nice day tomorrow. Thursday, though, the next round of rain moves through. Looks like clouds and rain kind of highlighting the Thursday forecast. And then we're cooler and dry on Friday. Saturday, this is the GFS model, and this was the 0Z run. And I'll say this, I've seen out into early this weekend on the 6Z run, and it doesn't look as impressive with our low pressure, and you're going to see these fluctuations. But again, this was the 0Z run. Nice area of low pressure forming here in the northwestern Gulf. We go out to Sunday early morning, and that's a broad low over the Florida Panhandle. And another feature to note on the 0Z GFS is a pretty cold area of high pressure. It's not terribly strong, but it does the trick. Kind of has some cold in the mix there as well with this system on the 0Z run of the GFS. We go 6 hours later, early Sunday afternoon, low pressure off of Jacksonville and Savannah. And then we get out to Sunday at 7 p.m., and that low pressure slowly pulling out to sea. You look at the temperatures aloft, and you have 850 millibar temperatures that do get below freezing in the northwest side of this as the precip occurs roughly down to there on the GFS. Let me kind of scoot out toward the end of the run very quickly. There's one more panel as that low pulls out to sea, and then we're dry and fairly chilly on Monday. Now let's go to the European, the 0Z run. It was further north with this system. There's the surface low kind of centered near the Florida-Alabama border. Saturday evenings also it was quicker than some of the other modeling. The low pressure pushing into central Georgia Sunday morning, and then near the coastal parts of North Carolina Sunday morning about daybreak, and then from there moves off the Delmarva Peninsula. And that track, verbatim, is rain for most of our region, maybe kicking over to some snow as the system unfolds in western and northwestern parts of North Carolina. Okay, let's go to the Canadian. Looks very much like the GFS on Sunday morning, and then scooting out to sea, and that is snow on the northwestern fringe of that precipitation shield as that continues to pull on out to sea. Okay, one more model, UK Met. There's the low, 1,003 millibar low over southern Louisiana, and you look at that and you think, ugh, that doesn't look good for the Carolinas. But notice we go further out in time here, and it does not move northeast. It kind of moves east-northeast, and so that would likely be some snow on the northern fringe of the precip shield as well. Quick look at a couple of the ensembles. This is the European ensemble, pretty much in agreement with the track of the operational European. And this is the GFS ensemble, pretty much in agreement overall, the ensemble mean with the operational run of the 0Z GFS. Now, why was on the 0Z runs, the European model further north than the GFS? It all boils down to this, really. Notice the low pressure here, kind of sitting near the Canadian Maritimes, a separate piece of energy back behind that on the European. Compare that at the same time frame to the 0Z GFS, and it's much more of a consolidated low up there in southeastern Canada, and that keeps the track a little bit more suppressed. And the one final chart here for you, this is the HPC chart, valid Sunday morning, low pressure in eastern parts of Georgia that then tracks out to sea. And that's a favorable track for at least upper southeast wintry precip, assuming there's some cold air around. And it looks like there will be enough cold air that wherever this low pressure tracks on the northern fringes of the precipitation shield, there's going to be some wintry precip. Now, whether that shield winds up here or further south is still a matter of contention, and it's all going to be entirely dependent on the exact track this low pressure takes. But, you know, for snow fans around the region, at least you're in the game at this point in a lot of the region. It's more than can be said for a lot of this winter. Can't tell you where it's going to snow, if it's going to snow. You just can't do that yet. It all depends on the track, and it's just too tough to resolve those specific details right now. But it's going to be fun to watch, see how this unfolds as we head on into the weekend. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. God bless.